And we are on the air because Richland Sheriff Leon Lott is going to address the media now. We are being told this has to do about parent and juvenile accountability. Let's listen in live to Sheriff Leon Lott.
Parents or adults, and I use the word parents very loosely because I don't consider them real parents, but we had parents that were condoning, assisting, helping your kids, young people involved in crimes, from murder, car break-ins, etc. And for too long, I think we had just kind of ignored that fact that these parents were involved in helping their kids do crimes, and just, which empowered them, the young people, just to continue to commit crimes. So we started holding parents accountable. To date, we've made 12 arrests on these adults, these so-called parents. This week we arrested 3 more. You just want to shake your head when you see what the so-called parents are doing. The picture you see up there now is Kendra Hemphill. A week ago tomorrow, we had a double murder in Richland County. We had 2 people that were killed in what we believe a robbery. We were able to identify the 2 suspects that were involved in the murder, the double murder, one of them being a 15-year-old. What we discovered was that the 15-year-old's mother, Hemphill, had arranged for the 15-year-old to be driven to Rock Hill area. He had also been shot in the robbery. She didn't take him to the hospital. She didn't call a doctor. She didn't do anything but try to take care of his wound by herself, knowing what her son had done. We were able to get him identified, get him arrested. Yesterday, she was also arrested for assisting her son after the fact, a double murder. Why? You just ask, why? Why would you allow your 15-year-old to, one, be involved in something like this, and then once you know that they've been involved in it, you just condone it and help them try to hide and get away with it? So she's been charged with it. She's going to be held accountable for what she's done. Again, part of our parent initiative. This is another mother that was arrested yesterday. 2 adults were arrested. We did a search warrant involving another shooting inside that residence. We found a large quantity of drugs, but there was also 3 kids that were present in the house. Under the bed of the 2-year-old, we found a loaded gun. All you had to do was pull the trigger. It was ready to go. Found drugs there throughout the house, but also in the child's room too. Both of them have been charged. You see the charges that they've got to. Again, 2 so-called parents or adults that are just committing crimes, not care less about their children. And this is an environment that our children are growing up in. And then we expect them to respect life, follow the law, when the example that they're adults that have custody of them, adults that are supposed to be teaching them, are being this type of role model. So 3 more that we've locked up. This is pictures of all of them that we've arrested so far in the last year and a half. None of them have been to court yet. The charges are still pending. And we're going to continue to make these arrests. The goal is not to see how many parents we can arrest. The goal is to get parents to really be a parent. I will tell you, once we started this initiative and we started publicizing these parents that we've made arrest, our youth services has received more calls and asked for assistance than they ever had, which is the result that we wanted. We want these parents who are struggling, these parents who need help. Call us, ask us for help. We got parent support groups. We got ways that we can help you. But when you don't reach out and ask for help and you allow your kids to go out here and commit crimes, the community's tired of it. We're all tired of it. So we're going to hold you accountable. So these are the 12 that we've got so far that we've arrested. Hopefully I'll never have to stand up here again and say that we've arrested another parent. Next, I'm going to go back to a case that takes us all the way back to December of 2024, when we had 3 individuals that had carjacked someone, took off in the car, got in a car chase. They wrecked. We were able to apprehend some. There was a 13-year-old that we did not apprehend. That 13-year-old shot and killed our dog, Boomy, one of our canines. We lost 3 canines that year. This was the 3rd one. Boomy was shot and killed by this 13-year-old. We also locked up his mother. I wish I could show this 13-year-old picture, but I can't, just because he's a juvenile. We charged him. We locked his mother up. His mother came and picked him up from the scene, hid some of the clothing, washed some of the process of washing some of the clothing, so we locked her up. So this 13-year-old who killed our police dog, carjacked someone, had a gun that night. His sentence was to be on probation. So he's been on probation. So this 13-year-old becomes a 15-year-old. His probation ends on July the 11th. That's when his probation ends. July the 15th, what is he doing? 3 days later, July 14th, he's out breaking in cars again. We get in another chase with him. We catch him again. He's got another gun with him. He has a stolen gun. He has a gun that's been involved in a shooting. These are the 2 guns that we took off of him and another kid. That's his mom right there. We've already locked her up again. But you want to see an example of a repeat offender of a bad parenting? Look at this one right here. From the initial case in December to just this week, there's on that 15-year-old's telephone was a picture of him on the day that he got off probation holding up his gun. Holding up his gun. Where's his mom? Where's she at? Where's the system at? We stand here and talk about a 13-year-old that's got a gun, would probably shot a cop, but killed a police dog instead. And his incentive is to be on probation. And as soon as you get off of probation, what are you doing? You're right back doing the same thing that you had been doing. And you're carrying a gun, you're breaking into cars, getting caught with that gun, and you're going to jail. Yesterday was a detention hearing on him. I'm glad that the courts detained him. He's currently at DJJ. So at some point, his case will go in front of a judge, but fortunately for our community, he is off the street right now, and he's in DJJ where he needs to be. He needs to be held accountable. Not only does these parents need to be held accountable, but these kids out here that are killing people, breaking into cars, they need to be held accountable. We had Camp Lott. Well, we had Fargo's law that was recently passed. It took, I think, 14 years for this law to get passed, where now we increased the penalties for somebody injuring a police dog or a police horse. I've had 4 of them killed in the line of duty since I've been sheriff. Throughout the state, we've had other ones killed. Boomy was the last one that was killed, and his killer was allowed to be on the street, but he's taken off the street now. But Fargo law was passed. We appreciate the legislature finally seeing the light and getting it done. It's been a long battle, but that's over. Next, I want to talk about our Camp Lott. I did not pick the name. Somebody else did. Is leading our troubled teens. We recently had Camp Lott out at Fort Jackson in a partnership with them, where we had males and females 2 different times come in. But what's really brought it home to us is that one of the counselors asked a 14-year-old, where would you get a gun? Where would you get a gun? And you see where the answers are. Buy one on the street. Get one of my parents an adult's unsecured weapon. Get another family member to go buy one. Get someone older in the community to go get one. Steal one from a car. Have an adult buy. The common denominator in all this is a preventable. There's an adult involved in every one of those. There's an adult who's got unsecured weapons, adults who leave guns in cars, adults who go out and buy guns for kids. This is an adult problem. We always talk about the kids, but where they're getting the guns, it's an adult that's involved in it. And so we need to hammer home to all the adults out here, you are the solution. By doing what these things here, this 14-year-old said, you're part of the problem. Be part of the solution. Look at these things here where these kids are getting guns from. If you're involved in any of those, stop it. Stop leaving them in your car. Stop leaving them unsecured in your house. You can prevent these gun deaths. So today's about letting the community know that the Sheriff's Department and this community is fed up with these non-parents out here. It's real simple. Be a parent. Questions?
Has Hemphill or Rivera had bond hearings as of yet?
I think they have. I don't know what the bond is set, but they were arrested yesterday, so they probably had a bond hearing by now. Go ahead.
These charges for the parents, do you believe will stick?
I believe they'd stick. We wouldn't have locked them up if I didn't think we had good cases. So, our job is to get the evidence and make the cases, and it's up to the solicitor's office to prosecute them. Solicitor's office has a lot of cases, so it's just a matter of time to where they come to court. But yes, I believe they'll stick. Yes, I think we have enough evidence, one, to arrest them, but also to convict them. They need to be held accountable. They need to have their pictures shown. Everybody needs to see who they are and see what an example of someone who is not a parent is.
Is there a higher focus to track down even more parents that might be involved in these types of situations now that we've seen a lot higher presence of these youth crimes in the community?
I'm not going to say a higher focus, but for the last year and a half, when we said enough was enough, every case that we make on a young person, particularly if it involves a gun or breaking into cars, first question I ask is, where's the parent? This 15-year-old that we caught that has killed our police dog, this was 4 o'clock in the morning. What is your 15-year-old doing out at 4 o'clock in the morning? What was he doing out when he was 13 years old and killed our police dog and carjacked somebody? What was he doing out at 3 o'clock in the morning? Where's your parent? You don't know where your child's at? That's a child. So there is a higher focus on it because the community is fed up with it. I hear that from the community, and we're fed up with it too. I'm tired of standing up here talking about some kid who's lost his life and another kid who's going to jail for the rest of life. Gun's going to get you one of two places, in prison and in the cemetery. That's a given. All right, thank y'all.
All right, Richland Sheriff Leon Lott announcing that several parents have been arrested now in connection with some criminal cases that their children were involved in. A double homicide suspect, a 15-year-old. The mother of that 15-year-old has been arrested. The sheriff basically saying that she was trying to cover up her son's crime, saying that her son was shot in the foot, sent him to a hospital out of town for treatment, all in an effort to conceal what he had done. Another parent, mother and father charged after a loaded gun found underneath a 2-year-old's bed. And another parent charge. This one was that 13-year-old young man who shot one of the deputies' canines a couple of years ago. His probation just ended, and 3 days later, he is back out on the streets, according to the sheriff, committing more crimes. So the mother there was arrested as well. The sheriff says so far 12 parents have been arrested since he started cracking down on some accountability here by parents for children who are charged with crimes. He said the solution here is pretty simple: be a parent. We will have much more on this press conference coming up later on air and online at WLTX.com.